So do we have a right to our opinion? Most, when asked this question, answer yes. Here's how it works.
Do you believe that we could never have a Muslim president or never have a Jewish
We had
president?
one. We had a Muslim president for 7.5 years.
You believe that President Obama is a Muslim?
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
And that is based on what you feel in your
Yeah,
heart?
that's what I believe. Yeah, and you know what? I have the right to believe that, and you have the right to go against that, but I believe it.
So that man's name is Antonio Sabato Jr., and he's making three claims in this clip. One, President Obama is a Muslim. Two, that he believes the first claim to be true. And three, that he is entitled to that opinion. So what's the problem? The way I see it, there are three problems represented here. The first, clearly, is that believing something to be true does not therefore make it true. The second is that the right to our opinion might make that right irrelevant. What does that mean? Well, we want to know what our rights are because we want to know when our rights are being violated. But if we take a traditional understanding of what we call epistemic entitlement, well, if our opinion is well supported by evidence, then we would be entitled to that opinion. So, does that mean that in order to determine if our right to our opinion is being violated, we have to actually solve the problem, find out what is true, investigate the actual evidence that we provide? But if that's the case, doesn't that make your opinion itself irrelevant? We're dealing with a fact at that point, yes? Third, this type of claim, I'm entitled to my opinion, represents a fallacy. I think it's best summarized by the philosopher Jamie White in his book Crimes Against Logic. So he envisions that anyone who engages in this type of claim is thinking of the following argument.
Premise 1. If it is supported by good evidence, then I'm entitled to my opinion. Premise 2. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Therefore, my opinion is supported by good evidence.
What's the problem with this argument? Well, it's a fallacy, what we call the fallacy of equivocation. In the first premise, we are using right in an epistemic sense. In the second premise, we are using right in a legal sense. And we are trying to then draw a single conclusion based upon those different meanings. That's what equivocation is, slipping between different meanings. And, well, again, that's a fallacy. So anyone who makes that claim that I'm entitled to my opinion, what they're doing is either showing that their right and or opinion itself is irrelevant, or they're committing the fallacy of equivocation. But based upon the amount of times I hear this type of claim, I can't wonder if there's something deeper going on. So looking back to those claims made by Antonio Sabato Jr., the second claim was that he believes the first claim to be true. What if he doesn't? What if he doesn't believe it? What if he doesn't care if it's true at all? Well, then he would be guilty of what Frankfurt calls bullshit. And we know what the problem with that is. Now, maybe it's wrong for me to, holistically presume that anyone who makes the claim that they are entitled to their opinion is engaging in bullshit. Although, based upon the number of times I actually hear this claim being made, maybe it's naive for me not to. Second, if stating that we are entitled to our opinions makes your opinion actually irrelevant, then maybe we're asking the wrong question. Maybe we shouldn't be asking if we're entitled to our opinions, but instead we should be asking if outside of our subjective interpretation, our opinions have any value at all. That's disturbing to me. More disturbing, in fact, than the idea that everyone might just be engaging in bullshit. I don't actually know what to do with that. Maybe the answer is just to keep fishing.